Hello guys, good evening. So this is our 13th session for our subject IT 221. So our topic for this evening is about the chi-square, and actually we are now on module 13 for lesson 18. Chi-square is also a continuation of our association and correlation chapter 7. So when we speak about association and correlation, chi-square is a great method to do this. And chi-square is actually associated with a statistical hypothesis. And it tests that it is valid to perform when the test statistic is chi-square distributed under the null hypothesis. Specifically, persons chi-square test variance. So, excuse me. It's kind of a testing for determining whether there will be a significant difference between the expected frequency and the observed frequency in one more category of the contingency table. Before we go deeper on chi-square, let me just reiterate the objectives for this evening. So number 1 is to discuss the importance of association and correlation. Number 2 is to value the importance of association and correlation. And excuse me. Number 3, understand the basic concepts of association and correlation. So going back to the discussion on chi-square, the distribution occurs when the observations are independent and normally distributed. So which are assumptions often justified under the central limit theorem. So what happens if you test around more groups than 3 variable at a time, like we did in ANOVA? So therefore, on chi-square, it is used to determine the comparison between the plain text and the decryptive ciphertext. And then the lowest value of the test means that the decryption was successfully with high probability. So there's a tendency that this method can be generalized for solving modern problems. No. So in other fields such as bioinformatics, chi-square test is used to compare the distribution of certain properties of genes, like the genomes, the content, the mutation rate, interaction network, clustering, etc. So as you will notice, guys, there are a lot of variables that belonging to different categories. Sumasala ikaw kada haiti duro-duro nga variables within one range of variable. So as I've said, fields such as disease genes, essential genes, genes on a certain chromosome, etc. So I'm talking about bioengineering and bioinformatics. So when you solve for chi-square or use chi-square, there's the distribution to interpret the statistical value required to assume the discrete probability of observed binomial frequencies. So therefore, it can be approximated within the continuous conjunctions for chi-square distribution. Okay? So more on chi-square, the formula is on your screens right now. So it's about x squared is equivalent to the summation of O01 OI minus EI squared over EI. So we're in, it uses several conjugations for distribution for statistics, which includes number 1, the confidence interval estimation of a population, standard deviation of normal distribution from a complete standard deviation. So there's a certain demarcation line between standard deviations and normal value. Kung madamdaman ninyo guys, there's a bell shape, the bell shape which we had for that time, and we discussed about the degrees of freedom last time also for ANOVA, or the analysis of variance. So in terms of conjugation for chi-square method, or what I mean is the chi-square test. So therefore, there will be a confidence interval for estimation of the population. Meaning to say, may anggid nga gamay ang standard population sa normal distribution. The normal distribution is the standard, and then the standard deviation for the population will be the closest to it, ang pinaka-rapid. So the chi-square there will determine the conjugation for each property. So kung duro-duro da guys, hindi na madala sa ANOVA lang or sa t-test. So therefore, you use another method to group a certain variable within a range of values. So just like for example, sa isa ka lugar, makita nyo ang sa isa ka lugar, may mga sityo, kagdayon sa sulod ka sityo, may mga tanda-tanda pa da kung diin. So paano mo i-comparar sa isa ka barangay, may mga sityo man, kag may mga ano. So like for example, if you go to a certain place and you wanted guys to so how do you compare? Because there's so much direction and so much things that you wanted to know. Diba you're using a landmark for that? Like example, sa kilid ka kakoy tuya sa unhan, or sa may sapa sa unhan, sa idalom ka puno ka niyog, or sa unhan pa ka. So those are the things that you need to consider. It's like testing within the dormant time with a specific value for a certain place. Pero you still have to consider the different variables that you're going to have. So medyo complicated. That's why chi-square is based on association, and the correlation will be discussed next week. And the association for that will be used for chi-square method or for testing the values for that. So the second use is the independence of two criteria of classification of qualitative variable. So when we speak about two criteria for classification, this refers to the qualitative variables that is being placed on a certain standards. So there will be a conjugation for classification, meaning to say ginasara mo ang information within sa one value kaysa sa compare it to another variable. So just like for example, kamo BSIT 2 tikon may taga-kritanay, pero kon example sa mga ROTC nyo abi patinugon kamo i-measure yung height ninyo from naka-boys kag girls. So duwa boys nga hanay kag girls nga hanay. So within the boys rank, regardless of the name or the last name or the so example kung i-arrange ka mo from ang pinakanaba hasta pinakataas. So paano niyo siya i-measure? Siyempre, you're going to have a standard, and the standard for that is a metric system. And the metric system would be in terms of feet or meters or centimeters na. So i-measure siya, tape measure or for the height. Then the same thing with the girls. How are you going to arrange them? So dyan pa lang sa girls kag sa boys, way pa nag-impon sanda within sa one population. Isa ka mo ka grupo, isa ka population na siya. So BSIT. So how much more if you're going to group into one for the whole school? Like for example, ang BSIT lang sa other courses sabi sa naka-ed or sa naka-HRM or sa iban nga courses. So paano pag siya na ma-compare? So though within sa range ninyo may compare pa na kamudaan, within sa group pagid na compare pagid. So tama ka complicated. So there are a lot of things that you need to consider. So the first thing that you would do is to consider the groupings, and then afterwards testing the different values or different persons or people or which is the variable. So that's the consideration for testing chi-square. Another, number 3, is the relationship between categorical variables. So when we speak about categorical variable, this refers to the contingency tables. The very best example for this, ang pinakarapit ng example siguro that I can give you guys is the table within your databases. If you studied, nakatuon ka mo ka database ninyo, just like magbutang ka mo ka value kag variable within sa one place, kag nagbutang ka mo ka mga primary key kag ang relationships. So when you speak about contingency table, these are the support tables for your forms. So these are the ano ang nagakapot ka data gid within sa database. Syempre ang table nyo. Without the table, there will be no, di nyo ibutang ang information within sa form, kundi sa table. So the contingency table is a blank table which supports all the forms within sa one place. So this refers to tawag ninyo nga backup or probably the contingency or the ang isa tawag ang mirror bala ka ano ninyo kag gina-store sa isa ka place. So backup files within the table. So those are the contingency table. When you speak about relationship between categorical variable, these are the assigned relationship within sa isa ka criteria sa variable in place ninyo sa databases. Okay? So number 4 is the sample variance study when the underlying distribution is normal. So when you speak about normal values, anto kagina bala, the normal value which is specifically more or less anggid sa dang inyong adang statistical value. So when the distribution is normal, it means to say that there will be a very good tendency that the test will be successful within sa range nanda. And you don't have to measure it. All you have to do is to input the data, and then your computer will automatically save that for you or compute that for you. And again, with our demo later on, we will be considering your Excel and the same time your SPSS. Okay. And number 5 will be the test of deviations of difference between expected and observed frequencies, or the one-way tables. So the one-way table is on a one-way test sa like in your ANOVA. So medyo anggid sa ANOVA. However, what is the most thrilling about Chisquare is about ang ana nga dang pagbutang ka value within sa range and the classification within sa groups. Kaya madumduman ninyo guys last week ang obra naton duwa ka bilog. The very good example gid is the Excel nga file. We're in sa Excel hindi sa sa Excel nga diblayad ang value nga gintest naton within sa wala siya sang unlike sa SPSS na nagabutang siya ka factor. So ang sa naton is diretso hanay sa Excel. Wherein ang sa SPSS is gagamitan pa natin ko factorial or real factor or the independent test na ginatawag. So meaning to say, more siguro daya guys sa SPSS nga itong method compare sa itong sa inyong Excel. And then the number 6 is the Chisquare is a goodness to fit test. Ang goodness to fit test is ang hurubaton lang dahil sa statistics nga wherein it refers to the fitness or the good fit of value. This refers to the test itself. At the same time, ang variable na ginabutang ninyo sa values ninyo. Okay? And then for your activity number 18, we're going to make a Chisquare. And I will have a demo later on. So, demo kita. Okay na siguro dyan. So let's go to the demonstration so that we can finish early. Okay. Okay, so let me just present to you entire screen. By the way, do you have any questions regarding our activity for this evening? Okay, so let me open my Excel. I hope that you can see my screen. So blank lang siya guys. So ang ginobra nato last time is ang three variables. So let's try 4 variable type. So the same thing from 75 going to 18 na Let me lang get i-plus star naton sorry. May ko na enter guys, no? Sorry. 88, 77, 77, 89, 94, 88, 84, 72, 70. Hindi siya magnaba. Dapat sa 75. Okay, so let me, ano lang, ang target pagka, ano na to, you may do the same, or probably guys, you can create your own here, your own data, your own value. So depende guys, ibutangan nyo lang ka-label kung ano yung A, yung B, kag C. Ang akong tulad, Y ko lang yung butangan because gadali kita or pero if you will, if you have time, you can find time putting some value or some label on your activity. So, and one more, isa na lang guys ka-table so that we can compute. While doing this guys, let me remind you of the data here sa data natin. So may data analysis ninyo at tool, no? Basta na Y pa, balik ka mo guys sa itong demo natin last time na itong ano. So check ninyo anay. So that direction na kita sa computation natin sa Chisquare. Okay. So we have 4 tables. So let me click data analysis and then so we are going to regression. Chisquare ata. Chisquare, no? Okay, I don't know if there is a Chisquare here. So let me, single factor ANOVA correlation. Okay. So let me, let me check abi guys if pwede natin nga. So another term for Chisquare. Okay, I don't know if we can test this. So okay, let me lang because I cannot find any chi-square here. The correlation is a Pearson R niya. So association is exponential smoothing, Fourier histogram, moving average number generation, regression. Hindi siya regression. I think iba nga topic ang regression naton. So wala kang chi-square, no. Okay, wait lang. Okay, let me check lang sa guys If we cannot get the value within sa chi-square naton this dang we will still use the variable here. Kagamitan natin sa SPSS. Okay? So let me research liwat. Let's try to find out how to get chi-square. Chi-square in Excel. Okay, so this is the steps, no? Calculated expected value. Type your data into column in Excel. So may diya kita. Click a blank cell anywhere on the worksheet and then click the insert function button on the toolbar. Insert function. Okay, let me insert function, no? Insert function. Okay, so this one, may value kita di. So insert function. Insert function. Insert function. Ada, so formulas, no? insert function, and then chi-square. Okay, so check natin siya. Chi-square. Chi-square test. So, okay, kita niyo. Actual range, expected range. Return the test for independent value from the chi-square distribution, statistics, and properties of freedom. Okay, guys. So this one. Okay, what you're going liwat again. All you have to do is to get on the blank portion and then click formulas. Then insert function fx. Di guys, oh, kita nyo. Then this one. Then i-type nyo chi-square. Okay, wala siya chi-square dyan. So i-type natin chi and then square, then go, no? Okay, so pag kita nyo, pakitaan nyo dyan chi-sq.test or chi-sq. Okay, so this is the chi-square distribution of statistics and properties degrees of freedom. So, muna siya. Okay, so this one, no? chi-sq.test. Then, okay. Try natin, okay, no? Okay, so the actual range is this one. Then, okay. Right. Right. Okay, so you entered too few arguments for this function. I think hindi siya try natin sa duwa lang anay. Okay, so liwat. Ang range na ginapangita natin will be try natin duwa lang anay. Kung magana siya. Para hindi siya. Actual range. See, okay man yung actual range na dyan. Hindi. Again. So I think there's something wrong. Okay, let's chi-square test, no? Actual range, expected range. Expected, abe. Okay, so there's a value here, pero hindi, sala. Okay, so something is wrong. Something is wrong. Okay, wait lang. Okay. So, how to calculate? Okay, so let's performing a chi-square test in Excel. Chi-square test for independent Excel. Okay, let us ano lang guys. Let us have a value here. Okay. Okay. The values. Okay. 13. Okay. So, I think they have 2 tables, guys. So, sundan lang ninyo, guys, para ano siya. The observed values and ang isa pa ka value. So, there are 2 tables. Okay. .05, that is the degrees of freedom ninyo. Okay. So, I think if you will observe sa example, so I think amo datoy guys yung example no, kung paano ninyo. So, going back sa example natin yung this one, I think you have to get the ano pa na before we perform the chi-square test. So, I think we need to have 2 tables pa, no? There are 2 comparisons. So, just like this one, ano na to, na-share ko mga totals kag ano pa. Okay? Okay, so go back here. And then the total, another total will be here. So, so this is A, B, and C, the total. So, if we're going to, copy-paste na to, siguro, no? And then, cut and paste it here. Ginidog na natin. Para nga butangan natin sa label here, kag ang sa babaw, kag ang total, di sa may piya. So, this one will be your A, alpha, then beta, Charlie, and delta. So after that, we're going to get the summation for each values. So the same man guys di ano. Pero I think medyo tama dya ka complicated. Okay, so this one. And so this is table 1 for table 1. Okay, cut and paste natin siguro no. Paste. Ay. Cut and paste. Okay, so ganito na natin guys. May butang natin dito table 1 na no. Okay, and then sunod siguro dyan ang total niya auto sum. The same man di sa dang diya. Pareho lang na sanda. Kung i-add niyo ang daya kag ang daya the same lang ang sabat, the same ang daya. So imo ang taka circle. Okay, so this is the sum, the total. So we have total. Then the column is total also. We have two tables, no? In calculating your value, amo dyan gamitan natin guys ang sadyaw. So we're in sa table number 2. So we have to construct again table 2. Bali comparing two value, two variables. So this one, so kung alpha 1, abi no, matang yung alpha 1, beta 1, and Charlie 1, and delta 1. So most probably guys, ang sa table 2, so this will be, I think, copy-paste ko lang para dasi kita. Okay. For this the total. Okay. Isla natin yung value diyan, no? So may mo siya alpha 2, alpha 3, 2, beta 2, Charlie 2, and delta 2. So the same thing. Pero ang diya, pang isla natin yung value niya. So para hindi bila magparehas, no? Okay, so automatically ang aton nga formula sa this one and this one, ma-correlate lang di higin copy-paste mo lang natin yung table 2. Pero yung obrahon natin is isla nyo good guys, ano niya, ang value, okay? Okay, so isla natin na guys. Isa-isaw natin sa ng ano na para nga mag-gets natin kung pero ng okay, 73. I think hindi siya dapat mag-70, ano na, magnaba sa 75. Okay. So, the same thing here. So, pwede kita din siguro ano, copy, paste na to. Hindi mo na siya magparehas, gid, no? Okay, medyo tama daw yung kakapoy, guys, kung ano. Okay. Okay, so let me, ano lang yun, guys. Let me finish the okay. So as you can see guys, hindi ano. Yung ano naton yung degrees of freedom nga dapat ninyong tamdan is the 0.05 or the 5% differential no degrees of freedom. 5% degrees of freedom. So the degree of freedom is the tendency nga compare. So dapat ang chi-square nga mabuol naton nga value dapat interpret niyo siya as naba or taas sa 0.05. So try naton, okay? Ang formula will be ang sadya sa data. Then data analysis. Itong gina pala guys, hindi, I'm sorry. So formula and then insert function and then chi-square test kita. So the actual test is ang sa table 1 naton, okay? Tandaan niyo, the actual range is the table 1. So the table 1 is this one, ang value niya. And then for the expected range, ang table 2. Okay? So table 1 kag table 2 kita. Kung nabutang niyo dun yung value niya, then i-okay niyo siya. So amo na. And then, ano nyo guys, lantawan nyo ang decimal places niya kung lower or higher siya. So, lower. So, meaning to say, kung lower siya, medyo lapit-lapit lang yun. Okay? So, normal dayang value ang interpretation na. Okay? So, kung hindi gani guys, kung higher siya sa 0.05, meaning to say, there's something wrong with that. So mag-interpret ka mo, interpret nyo dyan as So amo yung result na. So let us see lang kung amo man gyapon ang guwa na sa SPSS. So for SPSS, let us check sa chi-square kung ano yung guwa niya. Okay, so okay, so this one, wait. Okay, compare means and hindi siya. Hindi. Okay. For chi-square test sa SPSS, there's a chi-square test here, but hindi ko siya makita kundi yun ang ano. Compare means, no? General. Okay, supposedly, sige, try natin na alpha. Ang first lang nga table, alpha, beta, Charlie, and delta. To make sure ang sa measure niya scale siya. Okay, then afterwards, you go to the data view. Then import the value, no? You guys at table. Okay, so this is the original nito. Okay, for descriptives, course tab. Try natin ang course tabulation namin, no? Right. Hindi siya mo. Okay, for chi-square, oh no. Okay. Ay, hindi. Okay. Analyze. Compare means, no? For example, hindi siya It's not. Okay. Hindi ko makita, guys, kundiin niya. Ang contrast to post-hoc. Post-hoc is the continuation test. Hindi ko maanong chi-square. Okay, di. Tutorial kita for chi-square. So, chi-square YouTube. YouTube, abe. Chi-square in SPSS. Okay, interpretation. SPSS. Okay, so try natin. Okay, I don't know if you can hear my sige. Kagina, I don't know guys if you can hear kagina explanation sa YouTube. Siguro man Okay, sala guro yan na ano ko sa presentation, no. So stop ka na lang. Wait, stop presenting. I think I have to present its best video for animation para mabatian ninyo.
Smoker, male, female. They're definitely nominal variables. So let's go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Crosstabs.
Crosstabs, okay. So crosstabs din man siya.
Reset. And I'm going to put in gender and smoker. It doesn't really matter which way around you do it. I've just chosen to put it this way. We're going to go to cells, and I want to show you the expected count. I briefly mentioned this in the video on crosstabs. We're going to look at this in a bit more detail. I'm not going to use any percentages this time. And go ahead and click continue. We go to statistics. We're going to take the chi-squared option.
Nice.
Now,
Okay, so crosstabs
is a
yun man
test
gali,
for
guys.
independence, or you can think of it as a correlation coefficient, a test for an association. It just tells you if the association is significant, but doesn't tell you how strong it is. So we're going to use an effect size, either phi or Kramer's V, depending on the size of the table.
Phi and
so I'm going to go
Kramer.
ahead and tick that box there. Go ahead and click continue, and then click OK. Okay, let's look at our first table. This has our crosstabs, and we have our observed count, and we have our
So
expected
naka-crosstab
count.
siya, guys.
Now, the
correct.
expected count
Pero wala
is
ko
what
lang
we
siya
would
makita kay na.
expect to observe if there
Okay,
was
let me
no association.
Outdown ko lang
So,
guys
for
sa video,
example,
okay?
if gender
So, I think sa crosstabs gid man, naging obra natin kagina. So, sorry kagina, basta wala niyo mabatian ang sa Excel nga to. Ay, why ko gani. Hindi, mano garing guys, kung magbalik pa kita. Okay, let me just enter my screen liwat, and then I'll have a demo for the SPSS. So, dang ano na siya, chi-square. So, kagina, so ang value natin diyan, no? So, you go to analyze, and then crosstabs. Pangitawan natin ng crosstabs. Okay, nag-ano kita sa ano. Okay, so ibutang nyo man lang yung rows and columns, no? Kung diin siya, kung naka-row or column. So, dua. So, kung crosstab siya, dua kabilog or dua ang layer or ano. I think iba daya guys nga method ang model ko na. So, i-obrahon nyo lang gid, i-follow na lang ninyo kung ano yatong sa Excel kagina. And then i-follow nyo man ang obrahon natin diya sa ano SP. So, sa rows and columns, ibutang ko abi alpha and beta. And then for the column, Charlie and Delta. Meaning to say, sipi-sipi ko sanda guys, dua ka grupo. And then for the statistics, for the exact, no more cells. No more this one. All you have to do is go to stat, and then jagali ang chi-square natin guys, oh. Okay, so you have to click chi-square, and then there's for the nominal value, there's certain test may Phil and Kramer kagina ang test ng gamit nato. So I think we have to follow that ang phi and Kramer test, and then continue. Then try naton abe kung magwa siya. Okay, so this is the test na. Pero naka-crosstab siya, meaning to say A to B, A to C. A to C dayo, alpha to Charlie. May dyan to alpha to Delta. And then may beta to Charlie. May beta to Delta. Off niya guys. So the contingency, ang ano ninyo, ang chi-square test sa count, ang inyong is the chi-square test. Ang daya guys, oh. So specify nyo man kung beta delta kag ang daya. Ibutang nyo, copy-paste nyo da guys sa dang Word, sa Microsoft Word. Okay? Sa Microsoft Word ninyo guys, i-copy-paste. Kaya ba nyo, hindi nyo dyan ma-save nyo dang ma-open. Hindi ko dyan ma-open kung ang daya ninyo sa, ang save file na, hindi ko dyan ma-open sa dang kung ang daya i-upload nyo. Although, loading lang, pero pwede man siguro, no? Para hindi ka mamabudlayan. I-file save as PDF nyo lang gid. Then, ang dia, hindi pwede, no? Hindi pwede. Ang gid guys, i-copy, abi ko pwede ma-PDF, hindi galit pwede. So, brown nyo, copy-paste sa Word. So, isa-isaw nyo lang, cross tabs. Iya, dyan. Ang summary nga crosstabs is daya. Amo gidaya pinaka-importante guys. So ang kay summary nga settings ang daya. Pero ay nakabutang daya do. So amo daya una. Then siguro hindi niyo doon pagdaron daya. Ang daya lang oh. Daron naman ang ang daya. So obrahon ninyo, i-click niyo diyan tapos pinduton niyo ang shift button sa dang keyboard nyo para nga then i-click nyo ang Alpha Charlie. Pag-click nyo ka Alpha Charlie, daya dun, chi-square test. Then daya, ang crosstabs never mind kag ang symmetric value, ang chi-square test lang ang daya sa dalom. Daya kag ang daya kag ang daya kag ang daya. Hindi why the na. Okay, so dyan. And muda. Then right click copy, then i-paste ninyo sa Word. So, dyan na dyan i-edit guys. Oh. Bulaan nyo lang ang crosstabs nila. Hindi na, wide ang crosstabs. So, daya agad ang importante, ang una-una, ang case summary. Tapos dyan crosstabs na, wala dyan eh. Pang-cut nyo doon da. Basta kaon nyo man di oh. Ha? I-ano nyo bala guys, i-arrange nyo at may add. Ha? Ang symmetric value, wala do daya. I-pag-ualang. Ang importante mo lang guys, ang kay summary, ang dayang title ng ngaran, kag ang dayang result. Na hasta sa dalom, tapos kada i-save ninyo, kag amo da i-upload, i-upload sa Google Classroom nato. So i-edit nyo man lang. Okay? So again, kung paano nyo himuon, close ko naton la, pag-save. Kundi may value kita ang first value to kagina, add to kamo guys sa analyze, and then go to descriptive statistics, and then crosstabs. Pangitawan yung crosstabs, no? Pag na-click nyo ng crosstabs, magwa ka mo ipasulod nyo ang alpha, beta, kag Charlie, Delta sa rows and columns. After that, go to statistics, and then chi-square. Pag nakita nyo dun ang chi-square, and piliin ninyo sa nominal value and phi and Kramer V, then okay. Pag continue. Pag na-continue na, i-okay nyo na. Pag okay na, automatically SPSS will compute for the Then, pwede man select all, Control A, then Control C, kag i-paste ninyo sa Word. Pag na-paste ninyo sa Word, doon yung i-edit ang result. Okay? So, any questions, guys, about our, for this evening, ang aton nga lesson sa chi-square? I hope na gets ninyo, guys, ha? I-ano natin sa chi-square. And kung hindi, i-ano nyo lang guys, i-upload ko lang liwatid ang video nga dyan para makita ninyo. Okay? So, thank you so much. Please jot down your attendance on our chat box. Palihog ko sulat, ngaran nyo guys sa chat box. And good evening sa tanan. Okay, si Rose Ann. I don't know si Rose Ann. Ano siya? Okay. Okay, present. Good evening, sir. Kung Excel, labi imong gamit sa Word pa, sir? Hindi na. Ang sa Word niya ibutang, guys, ang sa SPSS lang. Okay? Ang no need, ang sa Excel, no need, guys, nga magbutang sa Word. Ang sa SPSS lang. Okay. So I think that is all for this evening, guys. Thank you so much for guys, for attending our class for this evening. And regards kaninyo ginatanan, no? Oo. And good evening lang dyan sa balay ninyo. May pamangkot pa ka mo? Ay, kay Rose May gali. Rose, good evening, Rose. why ako Rose kadto tuya kaninyo Rose ay nagpa-vaccine ako kay na. Why ako ka why tinagpan nagadto man ako dan nagligad. Ang ano pay why ko kay na ka attend. Kay nagpa-vaccine ako tiway ko may medyo galingin-lingin ulo ko. Na baksinan kay na nagpa-vaccine ako sa AstraZeneca sa why ako ka-attend kadang ano nanda. Okay, guys, thank you, and good evening. Good evening sa tanan. Ha? I hope ang attendance ninyo, klaro ang explanation ko no karon ha, kang ginubran ninyo. Kung hindi, mangkot lang kamo guys sa chat box, sa GC naton, okay? Okay? Mangkot lang kamo sa GC or ano, diya tulad, pwede ka mo pumangkot kanakon kung ano hindi niya pagid maanuhan. Okay. So I hope tanan doon naka ano doon no. Naka Okay, so thank you guys. I will stop the recording already, ha? And then you can